So he's always depending on his parents, and he's always depending on his guardian, whoever is going to take care of him. He's a child till 18. Once he becomes 18, now he's working. This is exactly what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're age 65. You are still considered a child because you cannot take care of yourself. You're incompetent. This is the rules and regulations, by the way. That's why you cannot have any claim. You cannot own anything. And I don't care what kind of allodial titles you will do. Still, they will hammer you down because you are a U.S. citizen, 14th Amendment. It's a slave, basically, to the U.S. corporation. The second thing is, however, there is a fraud in this process. You never thought that they're going to take care of your welfare. You thought that it's a mandatory, and the second thing is you are participating in the Social Security insurance, which is SSI. Now it's FICA. Social Security insurance, you think about it's an insurance policy. Well, insurance policy is in black and white. You pay so many payments as of now. At age 65, you will get so much. And if you don't, then there is a life insurance policy. That's a contract, you know up front. However, according to one of the Supreme Judges, Social Security is not an insurance policy, it's a welfare policy. That's why, at age 65, they're not obliged to pay you a penny if there is nothing in that welfare policy. If it's an insurance, they should have the funds. But it's not. It's a welfare. There was a fraud, but no one is complaining, so they keep going with it. The second reason why you are a U.S. citizen, you're using the Postal Service. Well, what I'm going to use then if I cannot use the Postal Service? And why the Postal Service? Well, there was another fraud. The Postal Service in 1970, all the employees, they were transferred. Everyone was transferred to the Postal Office employees. They were transferred to Postal Service. What is the difference? The Postal Office of the United States, it's the de jure office that the government created to serve the American people. There are only 5 employees at that office, and they're all in Washington, D.C. And the price of the stamp is the same, 2 cents for Washington, D.C., 3 cents nationwide. Who's Postal Service? Postal Service is a private corporation. You will see it says United States Postal Office. You think this is the Postal Office for the United States. You go in, as soon as you give your letter, that's the Postal Service handling it for you. Well, they never told me that. Well, why you are a U.S. citizen if you're using Postal Service? Because basically they're tied up with the Army, military. You are doing business with the military. And the government owns all the addresses and all the zip codes. And that mail, it's going through the Postal Service to one of those addresses which belongs to the government. However, the only way you can get out of a contract, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows about this, is to prove that there was a fraud committed in a contract. Extremely hard. However, if it's in black and white, they cannot argue. The Social Security, the name, it's Social Security Insurance. It was a welfare. You've got the proof. You can prove the fraud. When it comes to the Postal Service, you're advertising United States Postal Office. No one told me that when I get in, it's the Postal Service. So that's another fraud. Now, assuming that you got out of these 2 contracts, which you will, how can we get out of the U.S. corporation? A lot of people, they've tried a lot of systems, a lot of statements, shouting about it, radio talk shows, going to the courts and arguing with the judge. Nothing works. You gotta have to cite the law which gives you the right to expatriate. Expatriate from United States corporation and at the same time impatriate as an American citizen. You see, you have dual citizenship as an American, as a U.S. citizen, and they're both tied up together. Once you leave one, the other is going to go unless you impatriate at the same time. So, what can we do so that we can do this process? And under what legality we can do? This is what I wanted to talk about today. Now, when they passed the 40th Congress, when they passed the 14th Amendment, it was on, let me see, where is the paper? July 27, 1868. Now, they passed this amendment. However, they knew that if they don't give you a way out, this is treason, big times. And if you can expose them, they can be hanged. So guess what? One day before the 14th Amendment passed, which is July 27, 1868, the 40th Congress passed a bill, which is very interesting. I'm going to read it. By the way, I do have a copy of the Authority of Congress, Statutes at Large, treaties, and I can give you one of these. But this is exactly what it says. Whereas the right of expatriation is a natural and inherent right of all people, indispensable to the enjoyment of the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and whereas in the recognition of this principle, this government has freely received immigrants from all nations and invested them with the rights of citizenship, and whereas, he's talking about U.S. citizenship, and whereas it is claimed that such American citizens, this is the first time you will see American citizens, with their descendants are subjects of foreign states, we'll see who is that foreign states, owing allegiance to the governments thereof, and whereas it is necessary to the maintenance of public peace that this claim of foreign allegiance should be promptly and finally disavowed. Therefore, be it enacted by the Senate and representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that any declaration, instruction, opinion, order, or decision of any officers of this government which denies, restricts, impairs, or questions the right of expatriation is hereby declared inconsistent with the fundamental principles of this government. Basically what they're saying that it is the right of the American citizen to expatriate from the U.S. government, and if you do so to the proper channels, the government cannot question or deny, because you're not requesting it. You don't request an American citizen. You just make a statement, a declaration. Now, Section 2 is very interesting. This applies to me and some other people that they're not born in the United States. And it is further enacted that all naturalized citizens of the United States, while in foreign states, shall be entitled to and shall receive from this government the same protection of persons and property that is accorded to native-born citizens in like situations and circumstances. So basically, if you're naturalized, you're born in another country, and you're immigrant, you're naturalized here, still you have the same right as an American citizen, so that you can expatriate being an American citizen, and you can impatriate as an American citizen. Now, what are the advantages of doing this? As an American citizen only, the court doesn't have any stand to deal with you. None of the statutes, none of the judges, none of the attorneys applies to you. Anyone wants to sue you, corporations, credit cards, good luck. No one can use the court system against you. As long as you didn't damage anyone, by the way, you didn't harm anyone, then there will be a common law procedure. And we do have common law, by the way. No one is using it. So expatriation, get out of the U.S. corporation, impatriate. According to this, they gave us already the remedy one day before. How did you find this document? Well, it was hidden. It's been 120 years old, but it's there. It's been passed one day before the 14th Amendment, and nobody knew about this. Well, through the Freedom of Information, we have the bill, and every single person can use this right. It's been given by the Congress, the 40th Congress, one day before the 14th Amendment. So no one can argue about this. So you have the right. Now, over here it says foreign states. Well, someone is going to say, well, I don't know if they're talking about California or Arizona or whatever. Who's these foreign states? Well, it doesn't say foreign country. It says foreign states. So I'm going to have Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution states, the United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government. Therefore, the 50 states are foreign states to the United States. whose boundary is within the confines of Washington, D.C., 10 miles square. So, they're talking about foreign states, not country, and over here we have Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. It clearly in black and white says who is the foreign states for the United States. Now, we spoke about law and status. Attorney. Of course, attorney is an officer of the court, so anytime that you hire an attorney, basically you're surrendering all your constitutional rights. You are saying to the court that I need someone to speak on behalf of me. I'm incompetent, I cannot go forward, and you are surrendering your right to represent yourself, and you are surrendering your right to ask the court for their jurisdiction, to ask you to appear.